The world was loud, so very loud. Sirens screamed and lights flashed, echoing off the walls and into my tiny, sensitive ears. The air was thick with panic, and every sound seemed sharper, more frightening than ever before. I was just a small puppy, used to soft blankets and gentle hands. My days were filled with warmth, cuddles, and the soft hum of my humans' voices. I never imagined the world could be anything but safe and kind. But tonight, the world was angry. A terrible roaring shook the floor. The fire crackled and spat, its heat pulsing through the walls, making everything tremble. It was as if the house itself was alive and afraid. My humans were shouting, running, their voices were frantic, calling out names, searching for each other in the chaos. I could hear fear in every word, and it made my heart race even faster. I tried to follow, but thick gray smoke filled my nose and stung my eyes. Each breath was harder than the last, and the world blurred as the smoke curled around me, hiding everything I knew. I whimpered, lost in the roar of the fire, not understanding. My paws slipped on the floor as I tried to find a way out, but every direction looked the same, dark, smoky, and terrifying. One moment I was dreaming of chasing a red ball, the grass cool beneath my feet, the sun warm on my fur. It was a memory that felt so far away now, almost like it belonged to another puppy. The next, I was trapped in a nightmare. The world I knew was gone, replaced by shadows and fear. Every sound made me flinch, every flicker of light made me hope it was my family coming back for me. The heat pressed in, making it hard to breathe. My tongue lolled out as I panted, desperate for cool air, but the fire only grew hotter, the air thicker, the smell was sharp and burning. It filled my nose and clung to my fur, making my eyes water and my head spin. I could barely remember the scent of my home anymore. I tried to find my humans, but the smoke was a wall. It pushed me back, hiding everything I loved, making me feel smaller and more helpless than ever. Scared, I crawled under the kitchen table, trembling, curling into a ball. My body shook with fear, and I pressed myself into the smallest space I could find, hoping the fire wouldn't see me. The roaring grew louder, the nice smells of home replaced by choking smoke. Every familiar thing was hidden, and the world felt strange and dangerous. My heart beat like a drum. It thudded in my chest so loudly I thought the fire could hear it too. I wished I could make it stop just for a moment so I could listen for my family. I wanted my mom, my littermates, my humans. I wanted someone to scoop me up and tell me it would all be okay, to carry me away from the fire and the fear. I was just a puppy, alone with the fire monster. Everything felt fuzzy. My thoughts drifted, and I wondered if I would ever see my family again, or feel the sun on my fur. The noise faded to a dull ringing. The world slowed down, and even the fire seemed far away, like a bad dream I couldn't wake up from. I closed my eyes, the image of my human smile in my mind. I held on to that memory, letting it comfort me as everything else slipped away. The world went quiet and dark. I just felt gone. Floating in the silence, I waited, hoping for a gentle touch or a familiar voice to bring me back. A new noise broke the silence, a chopping sound, then voices. Not my humans, but strangers in bulky suits and masks. A bright light swept the room, landing on me. I flinched, too weak to move. A gloved hand reached for me, slow and gentle. A soft voice. "Hey there, little guy, we've got you." I was lifted out, carried through the broken door. The air outside was cooler. I could breathe. The giant set me on a blanket in the grass. A woman with kind eyes put a small mask over my nose. Clean, cool air filled my lungs. I took deep breaths. A tiny spark of life flickered back on. She checked my paws, cleaned my fur, gave me water. I was still shaking, not just from cold, but from memory. I was alive, but my family and home were gone. I was a tiny, burned puppy, wrapped in a blanket, watching strangers try to save what was lost. I was safe, but I had never felt more alone. The world was different now. I didn't know what would come next. The next place was quiet, but not a good quiet. It smelled of cleaner and other dogs I couldn't see. I was in a cage, small, cold, with a metal door. There was a soft bed and food, but I wasn't hungry. My paws ached, wrapped in bandages. I lay curled up, trying to be invisible. The sounds here were sad, other dogs whining and barking. Days passed, people walked by, peering in, but always moved on. I heard, "Oh, the poor thing," and he looked so scared. I missed grass under my paws, my humans laugh. My burns healed slowly. The vet called me brave. My fur grew back, but the fear inside me didn't heal as fast. Loud noises made me jump. The smell of smoke made me hide. I didn't want to play. I just wanted to feel safe. I watched other dogs leave with new families. No one stopped for me. I was the broken one, the fire puppy. I started to give up hope. Maybe this was my life now, just memories and the feeling of being left behind. One day, as the world outside my cage blurred by, a different kind of human stopped in front of me. He didn't rush past or ignore me like so many others had. Instead, he paused, as if he truly saw me for the first time. He didn't look at me with pity or sadness, but with something deeper, something gentle and patient, like he understood what it meant to be afraid and alone. He wore a uniform, the same kind the giant who once saved me wore, but this man seemed different, calmer, kinder, and somehow familiar. He crouched down, lowering himself to my level, just watching me quietly, not making any sudden moves. I stayed in my corner, tail tucked tightly, my body pressed against the cold wall, watching him back with wary eyes. He waited, giving me time, then spoke softly. "Hey there, fella. My name is Mark." His voice was calm, warm, and inviting, not loud or frightening. He told me he was a firefighter, that he worked with brave dogs who helped people, and that he believed I could be brave too, even if I didn't feel it yet. He didn't reach for me or try to force me out. He just talked, his voice steady and reassuring as if he had all the time in the world. He came back the next day and the day after that, never missing a visit. Each time he greeted me with the same gentle smile and soft words. Each visit he sat by my cage, never pushing, never demanding, just waiting patiently for me to feel safe. Sometimes he tossed a treat my way, letting me decide if I was ready to come closer, always letting me make the choice. On the third day, after a long pause, I took a shaky step forward and ate the treat. He smiled, not with triumph but with encouragement, as if he knew how hard that step was for me. He was choosing me, not in spite of my scars and fears, but because he saw something in me worth saving, something strong, even if I couldn't see it myself. The day he opened my cage, he didn't rush or pull. He just waited, leash in hand, giving me the freedom to decide if I was ready to trust. After what felt like forever, I took a deep breath, stepped out on my own, and gently nudged his hand, feeling a spark of hope. He clipped the leash to my collar with care, as if promising to protect me from now on. "All right, partner, let's go home," he said, his voice full of kindness and promise. I didn't know what partner meant, but as we walked out of the shelter together, sunlight warming my fur, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Maybe, just maybe, my story wasn't over. Maybe with this new kind of human by my side, it was only just beginning. Mark's home was calm. The air was gentle, filled with the quiet hum of a safe place. I could sense that this was somewhere different, somewhere I might finally rest. He had a soft bed for me, tucked in a cozy corner, but he didn't rush me. Instead, he let me explore at my own pace, sniffing every corner, learning the scent of my new world. I spent the first day hiding under the coffee table, peeking out at him, unsure but curious. The world outside my hiding spot felt big and uncertain. He talked to me as he moved around the house. "Just making coffee, Ash," he'd say, his voice calm and steady, never startling me. His words became a gentle background, a sign that I wasn't alone. He gave me a new name, Ash. It felt right, like a fresh start. When he said it, I felt seen, as if I truly belonged to someone for the first time. Training started with trust, not loud noises or harsh commands. He showed me patience, letting me come to him when I was ready. We played fetch in the backyard, the grass cool beneath my paws, the sun warm on my back. At first I just watched, unsure what to do with the ball, but fascinated by his encouragement. Mark was patient, tossing the toy gently, never forcing me to play. He waited, always smiling, letting me decide when I was ready. After a few days I finally brought the ball back. His praise was warm, better than any treat. His happiness made me want to try again. We worked on simple commands: sit, stay, come. Each time I got it right, he celebrated with me, making me feel proud. He never raised his voice, not even when I made mistakes. His patience was endless. If I was scared or confused, he just showed me again, never giving up on me, always believing I could learn. He learned what scared me: the sudden pop of the toaster, the flicker of the fireplace. He noticed every flinch, every tremble. He'd sit with me, quietly, until my heart stopped racing. His presence was steady, a comfort I'd never known before. He was teaching me that not all loud noises were bad. With time I learned to trust the sounds of home. Slowly I changed. My tail started to wag. I stopped hiding, stepping out into the open, feeling braver with each passing day. One evening as the sun set and the room filled with golden light, I curled up next to him on the couch for the first time. He put his arm around me, gentle and reassuring, as if to say I was truly home. I leaned into his touch, eyes closing in comfort, feeling safe in a way I never had before. He wasn't just my trainer, he was my human, my partner. We were building something special, a bond that grew stronger every day. I would do anything for him. His trust in me made me want to be brave, to try new things, to be the best partner I could be. For the first time, I felt like I belonged. This was my home and Mark was my family. Together, we were ready for whatever came next. The fire station was a new world, big, loud, full of shiny red trucks. The first time Mark took me, I refused to get out of the car. He didn't force me, he just sat with me, letting me watch from a safe distance. He introduced me to the other firefighters, one by one, all calm and gentle. Training became focused. Mark hid things for me to find. My nose, once a source of fear, became a tool. I loved the game, sniffing, searching, finding the prize. Mark cheered and my whole body wagged. He introduced training equipment slowly, a low tunnel, a smoke alarm sound. The tunnel reminded me of being trapped, but Mark crawled through first, calling me. I followed, and his praise was epic. The noise was hardest. The first time he played the alarm, I panicked. Mark was ready, holding me close, soothing me. We did it every day, a little louder each time, always with treats and games. He was rewriting my fears, connecting scary things with good things. I was learning to be brave, for him and for me. The day of my final test was cloudy and cool. Mark drove us to a training facility with burned-out buildings. The smell of old smoke made my body go stiff. Mark scratched my ears. "It's okay, partner, this is just a game. We're a team." I looked at him and knew I had to try. The scenario, a collapsed building search, fake smoke, dark rooms, hidden victim. My heart pounded, my old instinct screamed to run. But Mark's voice anchored me. "You've got this, Ash, trust your nose." I focused on the scent crawling under tables, over rubble. The human scent grew stronger. I found the firefighter lying still. I put my paw on his arm and barked, just like Mark taught me. Mark ran in, smiling. "Good boy, Ash, you did it!" He hugged me, and in that moment, I wasn't the scared puppy anymore. I was a rescuer. I had faced my fear and won. The fire hadn't broken me, it had made me stronger. I was ready for whatever came next. I was finally free. Passing the test changed everything. I wasn't just Mark's dog, I was K9 Officer Ash. My special vest made me feel proud, like a superhero. The firefighters saw me as part of the team. My first real call came after an earthquake. A building had collapsed. The real sounds and smells were intense, but I wasn't scared. Mark gave the command and I went to work, tail high. My nose was my greatest tool. I searched every corner, every pile. Mark was always nearby, encouraging me. Finally, I caught a scent, dug, and barked. The rescue team pulled a young woman from the rubble, alive. That night, everyone called me a hero. I got extra treats and a steak for dinner. But the best reward was curling up at Mark's feet, feeling his hand on my back. I had faced the darkness and won. The fire had forged me into a hero. I had found my purpose. I was home. My life is good now, filled with purpose. Mark and I are a team. We train, work, and help people. I love my job, but the best part is when the vest comes off. At home, I'm just Ash, a happy dog with a family. Mark got married, now I have Sarah who gives the best belly rubs, and Lily, the tiny human I protect. I still have my scars, but they don't control me. They remind me how far I've come. When I see my reflection, I see a survivor, a dog who is loved. Sometimes Mark and I visit shelters. I see dogs with sad eyes waiting for a chance. They just need someone to see the hero inside. My story proves a bad beginning doesn't mean a bad end. Every dog deserves a second chance and a purpose. If you can, give a dog like me a chance, you might find your own hero, waiting in a lonely cage.